Okay. This does not apply to any of you guys. If you live in, all right, for the North Koreans watching this, do not try this at home. That was a joke, everybody. You guys remember what that is? I know it's early. Fuck me, right? Obviously, there's not North Koreans watching the stream, in case you guys wanted me to break that one down. All right. Anyways, Joe Biden's alive as far as we can tell. You guys want to watch that little hearing or not hearing, the little fucking press conference that Kamala Harris did where she pretended to talk to Biden on the phone and she almost slipped up and she was like, "I'm talking to President Biden on a recorded on the phone." She meant to say recorded line, her goofy ass. And so the whole thing sounded so scripted, it sounded robotic. And yeah, I think we should go through it together and just kind of see if we can do a play-by-play. All right, so what do you have today? Flash manufacturing PMI. So manufacturing index, important, but not too important. But tomorrow we have advanced GDP, which I think is going to be a big deal, forecasting 2%. They revised this up a little bit from 1.9 to 2%. Man, if we hit 2%, that is rock solid. If we hit fucking anything above 1.5, we're rock solid. Because some folks are saying that we're in a deep recession, which means that the GDP number should be negative. And so that's not true because GDP has still been expanding. So I'd say 1.5% and more, positive news. That could actually be the catalyst that we need for this recovery tomorrow on NASDAQ. So all eyes on this. Weekly employment claims happens every week. And then we have those G20 meetings. Ugh. Ugh. Good morning, Camille. Caitlin, the real Biggie Smalls, Big T in the house. T, solid breakdown this morning. Literally took the words right from me. Hold on, what did you say? Yo, Mike, you're crazy, bro. What the fuck is this? Oh shit. Okay, I don't see any trades right now. Selling right now is just a breakout, and then price can turn around at any time. So that's true. We're at daily support. No reason to sell the breakout of daily support for sure. But buying right now is just as bad, if not worse, because price is heavily bearish, and you'll be catching a falling knife. I couldn't have said it better myself. My boy T woke up with the fucking just locked in. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm supposed to stop cursing. I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it. It's called baby steps, folks. All right, so we have NASDAQ falling. Let's go ahead and take a quick tour of all the different asset classes and see what's happening around the market. So we have that gold recovery, big surprise, right? Big surprise. We talked about the retest of the 61. We talked about this whole recovery. So now with gold, this thing is likely to hit this next fib and then come back for a retracement. If we can hold this local support level that's been forming, then this is going to be a perfect launch pad and we could fill this entire previous impulsive swing. Okay, so look for that retracement. Now, if the market's going to reverse and continue to the downside, it will do the same exact thing, except when it gets to this retest here of this local support, it's going to close under, shoot back in for a retest, and then go down. Okay, so I would watch for that 2400 level as that sort of make or break zone and look for a retest for buys right at that level. DXY, super secret, magnet indicator, can't beat it, can't fight it. Tell your moms, tell your cousins, sisters, cousins, dogs, neighbor, everybody, do the parades. All right. Look at this rejection. Better fucking resistance turn to support. How respectful. How respectful. Price respecting that zone like a military dad just walked in, to the house. I'm telling y'all, this is most accurate indicator in the world. Guys, the caffeine is still kicking. All right, give me a second. It's gonna turn on. We're gonna get things fucking moving. All right, give me a sec. 105.6. To be honest, I was expecting the dollar to continue moving to the downside and just release a lot of the pressure that's been building since this bull rally started. But the way that it's rejecting the support, the closures here on the 4-hour, where even though we didn't close above the range, this is kind of like in the Masterclass 2.0 that we're going to be covering. I'll be talking about the anatomy of ranges and how they form, which is on the way down. You'll sort of establish that first ceiling, and then you kind of keep establishing that ceiling. What we're seeing here is that we had this kind of bearish, we were on a bearish swing where we had lower highs and lower lows, right? But then as soon as we hit this magnet zone, we had a shift in momentum. And even though we haven't closed above the resistance of the range, we did fill the previous high and we did close above this previous resistance. So by establishing a new bullish range, now the most likely scenario is a higher low retracement and a move back to the upside because of the closures above the previous structural resistance. All right, so we're still in this range, a retest of the lows, and I think the dollar is going to keep climbing. And you guys can answer the rest for me, which is if the dollar goes up, how do we make money? Give me a few examples in the chats and let's get the show on the road. It looks like the euros are retracing heavy, heavy. They had, Euro JPY had finished this move. And Euro JPY was actually a great sell trade because I'm seeing euros crashing, but I'm also seeing the yen doing a massive recovery. I took a tour around the different currencies today. UJ, Euro JPY, and GBP JPY all doing the same thing. So clearly the JPY recovery is the main driver of this kind of retracement. Now you have Euro JPY where you have central bank parity for both. We have the euro crashing, as you guys can tell by Euro USD, not crashing, but sort of in the middle of a retracement. And then Euro JPY, same thing. But Euro JPY is on steroids because it has that JPY driver in it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I'm not really looking at any of these. I'm going to wait for this higher time frame retracement to finish. Then we'll start picking up swing trades at these discounted levels for all the different currency pairs. Really, I'm just looking at Euro USD and USD JPY. Bitcoin had a nice recovery. Here's my expectation, which is I got to go to the daily for this. Let's go to a blank chart. Okay, beautiful. So here's the previous swing high on Bitcoin. Here's the previous swing low. Grab your fib tool. Go ahead and go top to bottom. Add the 786. Beautiful rejection here. Go wick to wick because this does not follow the same rules as NASDAQ. Beautiful 786 rejection. Go ahead and get the levels as accurate as possible. Okay, so I think that either double top at the 7.8 and then we start pushing back down, or we can go as high as the 69,850. So one more, and then we make a move down. Does Bitcoin follow this model? Does Bitcoin follow the strategy? All right, what do you guys think? It's on the daily. Will it respect the fib level or not? And if you answered no, get the fuck out of the Zoom. All right, go find your go to Baby Pips, and that's where you belong. Okay, Dave and Buster's, because obviously you're playing games. UJ, oof. Went for that Model 1 opportunity, but it looks like the DXY is not quite done yet. Yeah, it's not even the DXY doing this. This is really the yen basket. Whoa. Okay, timeout. What just happened? Come on, come on, come on. Bank of Japan's Kono says, not directly requesting Bank of Japan to raise rates now. Digital Minister clarified he's not directly, it doesn't matter, okay. Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshiyama Hayashi declined to comment on the FX moves. Oh, fuck. This is central bank intervention, people. Oh, damn. These are the kinds of plays that make big, big money, but there was no announcement and they're declining to comment. They're really trying to do this on the slick, which means they're hurting bad. So how do you like just boost your currency in a day? Like if your currency is going to absolute shit and you're a central bank, what can you do to manipulate the market? Anyone have any guesses? Do you print more? Do you get more money out of the economy? What do? Do you raise interest rates? What are some options here? Just caught killer shorts on US 30. Good stuff, C4. My US 30 bleeding. NPL, I checked US 30 earlier, did not see your name on it. Not gonna lie, unless your name was Owanda. You think the DXY will people, bro, somebody will make $1,000 on a trade talking about my NASDAQ. Hold on. Hold on. Treasury Secretary is going to Brazil for G20. This lady just figured out the sanctions on Russia hurt the dollar a week ago. What the fuck is on with this retirement home? Brother, first off, if you think that these people are stupid, you are out of your mind. I hate when people say politicians are stupid and like these politicians don't know whatever. But if they were stupid, how come they're in charge of you? If they're so dumb, how come they're your boss? Yeah, right? It's because you think that they're working for you. Like, obviously, if you're like, oh, Secretary Yellen is here to basically look out for the American people and to do what's in the best interest of our economy for the long term. Yeah, obviously, she seems incompetent as fuck. Bro, we got fucking, this is an emergency on our hands. If you realize that she's a political stooge appointed by the president, not elected, appointed to do the bidding of the executive to basically prop up the economy during his elections so that it looks good so he has something to run on, then you're like, well, by damn, doing a pretty good fucking job. The economy's on paper looking pretty good. And so it's the same with politicians. If you assume that they are looking out for your best interest, then yeah, it seems like they're all incompetent. Once you realize they're there for their best interest, you're like, oh shit, they're doing a pretty fucking good job. Nancy Pelosi's up a couple hundred M's. I'd say she's doing a pretty good fucking job. Lie about how much you have. No. You can lie, but other central banks are going to find out pretty quick. So if you want to crash your currency, you oversupply the market. Okay, so you just print a bunch of it, and now everybody has way more dollars, and it's not as valuable to get dollars anymore. They're not scarce anymore, and then people are not willing to pay as much, and the dollar goes down. If you want to raise the value of your currency, you take money out of the system and you make it a lot more scarce. And so, because of scarcity and the principles of supply and demand, price goes up. So they either just did some market operations to take a lot of money out of the economy, or they did something which is a swap line with other central banks where you can exchange your currency for another one to temporarily boost the reserves of other currencies in your central bank. And it gives the value of your currency more strength. So I'll give you an example. Like in Lebanon, the lira only has value if we have US dollars in the bank to back those liras, the value. If we don't have any dollars, then the lira is worthless. You guys get me? And so there's swap lines, there's currency operations, there's open market operations, there's buybacks, and then they didn't change anything with interest rates. And it seems like Kamiyama is saying that, hold on, that they want to maintain the accommodative monetary environment as much as possible. Meaning everyone's kind of rumoring right, or there's rumors going around that Japan cannot keep staying at this negative interest rates while the rest of the world is raising. And at some point they have to shift. And that's going to be one of the biggest trades of all time when they finally shift. But the past couple of weeks, everyone was waiting for these decisions, and it seems like they kept the rates the same. And it seems like all these news reports are saying they have no intention of changing. So I'm really trying to figure out. Let me see. Bond yields? I don't think so. What are they saying? Its moves are key for the yen. The Bank of Japan has directly intervened in the currency markets sometimes, more than sometimes, generally to lower the value of the yen, although it refrains from doing it often due to political concerns of its main partners. Yeah, they've been doing a great job of not crashing their currency for political reasons, right? Come on, bro. This is what we call cap. This is what the kids would say is cap. What is this bullshit website, dude? What is this? FX Street? No. Forex Factory for the win. Give me something on Japan. Okay, now we're talking. Bank of Japan. two-way rate hike next week. Okay, they've been saying this for months. Like I just said, they keep rumoring that they're gonna like, oh, this is the week where they change rates. It's like, bro, no, the fuck, it's not. All right, let me just go ahead and take a massive gamble here. The Bank of Japan plans to buy bonds, plans to half the bond buying in the coming years. Oh, that's a big deal. Coming years. The fuck is coming years mean? They're unlikely to hike interest rates. I mean, yeah, no shit. Bank of Japan or Bank of Canada expected to deliver the second consecutive rate cut today. Wow. If you guys are trading any Canadian pairs, remember we were talking about this is now officially the start of the rate cutting cycle when Japan, or not Japan, when Canada and the European Central Bank both cut rates on the same day. That's what started the entire process. And now it looks like Bank of Canada is going to do it again. They're not even going to give it one or two meetings to kind of see the effects of the rate cuts. And the only reason they would do that is either one, Trudeau's on his way out. He wants to prop up the economy to make it look good so he can stick around, or they're in some serious trouble over there and they have to cut rates in order to stimulate the economy. We'll get back to this in a sec. Let me check out NASDAQ. I know we're very far away from entry. And to be honest, I personally don't expect to get a trade today because we're a long way from home, people. We are definitely not in Kansas anymore. Now, then again, this thing could just really just swoop down for one quick candle. So here's what we're going to do. Add some price alerts. I'm going to go halfway between my entry and where current price is, just in case it's kind of, I want a big enough of a heads up. And what I'll also do is if the market recovers back above this area here, I want to know. All right. When it breaks back above that support, I got to know. And then when it gets to my entry, I got to know. But I need a heads up first. So I'm not going to wait until it gets to the entry to put my alerts. I'll adjust it and put it slightly above. Get me? Seems like there's news about war. Let me see what's going on. US 30 getting close to the buy level I'm looking at. Let's take a look. Whoa. Wody. Brody. Okay. Whoa. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not bad. Go ahead and hit this structural support right here. Get down to the 1 hour, get mad accurate. Go to body to wick. This has already been retested. So this is now the structural low that hasn't been retested. This is the floor. That makes sense. That kind of makes sense. That makes sense. 39,877. Bryce, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking between those two levels. Actually, the 786 where it's at right now, 40,000 to 39. Just
Why
trying to be patient.
you got like a little ghost level here I don't know about? Let me see. What's in between those? Hold on.
I don't know what would be in
I'm
between.
about to do some fucking math. Well, hold on. I'm about to fucking 786 plus 5. God damn, why do I do this to myself? Is guys don't say 83.6?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see. You're the one that fucking said it, bro.
Yeah,
You're like,
well,
oh,
I
I'm
wasn't
yo,
doing all
I'm
this crazy stuff, bro. Come on now.
oh yeah, bro, I'm using a random level in between them and I don't want to be accurate. That's what this is. Am I translating this correct, Bryce?
No, no, you're
Just to
not.
no, just to make sure we're clear for everybody at home. Like I just want to make
Where did
sure.
you draw your fib at? Hold on. There, there we go.
Yeah. I had to fix it up.
Yeah, yeah. Now there we go. Okay.
Yeah, bro, it's at your super secret film level,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Disclaimer, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Bryce just said, everybody, this is financial advice. He said, no need to consult the financial professional. That's a joke, by the way, in case you guys don't understand humor, in case you guys just suck. All right. Just fucking that's good. That was a joke. That was not financial. Please consult a licensed financial professional. Okay. Dude, 39,900, 39,900, I think is rock solid.
Hmm.
It's the level I want to see. All right. something's got to have happened with this yen that's more than just the Bank of Japan talking about they want to half their bond buying. Okay. The hell am I looking at? Why are these all out of order? What the hell is this? Okay, I ain't doing all that. Okay, Bank of Japan expected to trim bond buying by 100 billion. Okay, now we're talking. When was this report out? July 2nd. When did the recovery on the yen start? So July 2nd, this is where they announced the bond buying operations, the change in the bond buying operations. And then we had like a little consolidation here, dip below, and then a fat recovery. And we just been flying since. So safe to say that this bond buying news is definitely legit. If it's causing a reaction like this. Huh. This is a pretty big deal, guys. This might actually be a way bigger move on the yen than what I expected. This is one of those like every couple years or every 3, 4 years, you get a structural change, like when the Fed cut interest rates for the first time, or when they raised interest rates for the first time in 15 years. This is one of those. Detailed plan on how it reduces its huge bond buying and scale back to nearly 5 trillion to its balance sheet. BOJ said it come up with a taper plan in August, covers period of around 2 years. What is around 1 to 2 years? There's a big fucking difference, right? That's a huge difference. Whatever. After buying bonds aggressively for a decade to reflate growth, the Bank of Japan has seen its holding JGBs balloon at 507. Roughly half of the total bond market is bought by their own central bank. They are buying their own bonds to make it look like people want to invest in Japan. And by the way, this when I keep talking about how Japan's had this issue for a long time where they had a choice to sacrifice their currency or sacrifice their bond market. And because the bond market is the reputation and the funding of your government, what they were basically doing is printing their currency, buying their own bonds, and funding their own government. Oh, 1 second, guys. Damn, I was getting a call. Thought it was an emergency. Um, well, that's good news. Man, FX Summit, grab your tickets. That's all I'm gonna say. And to be honest, we're gonna keep a couple of the speakers as a surprise because I want everyone to get the same feeling when they step on stage. Because this is tuning up to be one of the craziest things I've ever done in the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. And shout out to the Chart Addicts team, really crushing it day in and day out. This thing is not easy. There is no crash course on this on how to do something that's this new and trying to build an industry from scratch. So shout out to the Chart Addicts team and shout out to all the activity that's happening every day. Okay. So just to kind of break that down, America did the same thing. Quantitative easing, money printing is the same shit. The central bank creates money out of thin air. The treasury creates bonds out of thin air. Okay, and they just trade with each other because the treasury can't print money. And the Fed can't give money out to the population. They can only fund banks. So they're like, oh, how do we get about stimulus checks? How do we basically flood the market with way more money than we have and to send it to Ukraine and money launder and all this bullshit? Oh, the Fed just prints it. Now you're like, well, how is that even sustainable? It's not. We got to pay it back. Who's we? It's my generation. You feel me? These like 70, 80-year-olds are fucking literally printing shit tons of money at an ungodly scale, and they're like, yeah, fuck our grandchildren. They'll take care of it. I've never seen a generation this selfish. Every single older generation has always thought the number one priority is to leave the world better than leave it for your kids better than you had it. Very simple goal. These baby boomers are fucking ruthless. Fuck everybody. Let's print all of it, right? And on top of that, we can't cut any of the entitlement benefits either. So it's like, okay, expect 60% tax rates when we're older, folks. If you want to ask how was that even manifest later, it's like California's tax rates are a result of they hold more debt than any other state in all of America. And so they have to, they're never going to pay back the debt, but they have to service the interest payments. And that's why they have to continue to raise taxes. And so that's what's going to happen with the federal government is in order for us to meet that interest payment on the debt that we currently have, is going to be more money than the federal government brings in tax revenue. Just to pay the interest is bigger than our budget. So you guys can let that one sink in for a second. So that doesn't even cut into the principal. It's just all interest. Yeah, I don't even know how I feel about buying today, guys. To be honest, I have no interest in buying. I can see this from a mile away. If it recovers back above support, or if there's something, if it's a clear rejection of that extension and it's clear as day and I just can't ignore it, I'll be in the trade. But I'd have to see something miraculous because the momentum is pointing to the sell side for sure. Let me see. How can I become a successful trader? I would highly recommend you click the link in the description, register for the NAS 100 master class, and learn a tried, true, and tested strategy that you can start to implement as soon as possible. Renee says, LOL, Roy for the win. I don't know what you're laughing at, but I'm going to assume whatever I said, it was funny, and so I'm going to take you up on that. JPY is a dog chasing its own tail. I wouldn't really say that. I would just say it's an economy in collapse, okay, which is a lot more serious. The dog chasing his tail is funny. It's cute sometimes. You'd be like, yo, look at the dog. He doesn't know any better. Like, he doesn't realize it's attached to his body. No, Japan is demographic collapse. So not enough young people to basically refill the economy. Like, you have an elderly population. Same with China. That's why that's why no one believes me when I say China is not the biggest threat that we face. It's India. It's because the rising older population in China needs to be taken care of by the younger. If you don't have enough young people to take over the economy, fill all the jobs, maintain those responsibilities, you have economic collapse. And it's a slow death and it's fucked up. And so we are seeing demographic declines in Japan as well. It's a cultural thing. Make more babies, people. I'll tell you that much. Just make more babies. Unless you're a piece of shit, then just don't do that. Go ahead and save us. Save everybody else the hassle. Okay. Looks like gold is going to be revalued. That is going to be a hard one to convince the rest of the world. The only person that can do anything in terms of revaluing gold or anything would be the dollar, or would be the United States. Because gold is priced in US dollars. In order to debase your currency, or in order to, I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck revalue means, bro. What do you even mean by that? Like, I'm just trying to think about it. I'm like, that's not a fucking word. Revalue just means like, oh, I changed my mind about what I think this is worth. I do that shit 50 times a day. I just did that on NASDAQ. I thought this was a good discount. Now I'm looking at that like, oof. All right, maybe it can be cheaper. I bought this car for how much? The used Mitsubishi for 50K? I thought that was a good price. Oh, shit. Hey, man, one man's discount is another man's liquidity, right? That's what they always say. That's what my parents used to tell me growing up. One of my favorite trading phrases of all time, this kind of changed my life, is your capitulation is somebody else's entry. That shit plays in my head every day. Because whenever like internally, I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, I'm out of this trade, bro. I gotta cut this shit. This shit's not coming back. As soon as I'm about to capitulate, which means give up, that's right when the market's about to turn around, right? And so as soon as I'm about to capitulate now, that's when I realize that's when I should be entering. And hence how I kind of came on the strategy. So when I'm looking at crypto now, right now everybody's hyped about crypto because it's in a recovery. As soon as it's crashing, you'll be like, every Twitter investor is going to be talking about how it's a discount. You're going to buy the dip, right? And then it goes to 45. And all of a sudden, not so many people talking about buying Bitcoin. All of a sudden, it's at 35, and people are like, "Dude, I think Bitcoin's done, bro. I think Bitcoin's dead, bro." And as soon as you start seeing Bloomberg and CNBC saying, "Is this the end of Bitcoin?" That's when I'm loading up. I'm selling a kidney because as soon as they capitulate, that's my entry. Okay, put something in the chat if that makes sense. If you missed that part, honestly, get off the stream. Right? Because there's no reason you should be on here listening to me talk about dogs chasing tails and whatnot, and then missing arguably one of the most valuable pieces of insight I've ever given on a live stream. And if you're literally asleep at the wheel and you're not even paying attention and we're not even in a trade and there's nothing going on, and you're not even listening, that has to be a mental disorder, right? I ain't even showing my face. What are you even looking at? If you're not listening to this, you're not watching, and we're not in a trade, now I'm just confused. Okay, members, we got 5 people that got it. Awesome. The rest of you guys are probably working or got something going on. Let it slide. It says our debt is unsustainable with gold at current prices. First off, I'm going to stop you at the debt is unsustainable. I'm just going to go ahead and stop right there. Is that true? Always ask, always check your assumptions. Because if you're gonna start any sentence with a wrong assumption, the rest of it is wrong. How is it unsustainable if we're the dollar, if we're the global reserve currency? The whole game goes to shit and everybody's screwed. We can just rewrite the game. It's stupid. It makes zero sense. Nothing makes sense. You guys understand? We have a man with dementia as the fucking president of the most powerful country in the world. It's not gonna fucking make sense. There are dudes trying to play in female sports. It doesn't fucking make sense. I don't care what type of mental gymnastics or verbal gymnastics you want to play around any of this stuff. Doesn't make sense. All right. That's how so the way that it's supposed to work is once you're out of money, once you're broke, you're done. You're out of the game. Now how it works is you can print more money. Now other countries can't just do that all the time because then it would just devalue their currency too much. Who's the only country that can abuse the printing press? America. What are we not supposed to do so that we don't start war with the rest of the world? Abuse the printing press. What has this administration been doing for the last 4 years? This concept of Bidenomics, of printing trillions of dollars after we've recovered from the inflation crisis and forcing the rest of the world to have to do the same, right? What do you think that does? That you get BRICS. You get Iran emboldened by selling their oil outside of the US dollar system and then funding proxy wars against us. You get Russia emboldened. You understand? So, uh, we can play this game. This is why I hate the modern monetary theorists, this like new branch of finance or economics that believes that debt to GDP is not an absolute number, but it's a relative measure. So everybody could be at a shit ton of debt and just it just doesn't make sense. Every central bank is in so much debt that they'll never be able to make enough money to pay it off. But as long as everyone's in debt, then it's relative between the central banks, right? So as long as one currency is not so drastically behind all the rest, the game keeps going. That's why what Japan is doing is so dangerous because the rest of the world started raising rates unanimously. There was a rate hiking cycle over the last 3-4 years, and Japan continued to have interest rates at zero. That's where the game starts to break. When I tell you guys the currency system will collapse eventually and the new currency system will come up, and I say Japan's going to be the first one out the door and Euro is going to be the next, it's because of these dynamics where America will continue to abuse the printing press and the rest of the world will have to follow. And if you just play that out all the way to its inevitability, the Japanese currency cannot survive. If they want to prop up their bond market, they're going to have to continue to oversupply the market. They're going to have to continue to keep interest rates at zero or negative, and that's going to collapse their currency system. Cool. All right. Again, somewhere, people said, yeah, we are fucked. Don't ever say some shit like that again, brother. You might be fucked. I'm winning, and winning is contagious. So let it sink in. All right. Don't let that whatever you just said rub off on me, brother. All right. 2 things not allowed on the stream: red MetaTrader 4s and negativity. Okay. I'm the only person who's allowed to have negativity. You get me? I got enough for all of us. Fucking take a back seat. I got this one. US 30 showing rejections. But I'm done trying to understand US 30, if I'll be honest. I'm gonna leave this one to you guys, right? Have a field day, right? Everyone's like, no, I will master everything. I'm gonna be a master of this. You know what? Well, let me know how that goes. All right? Fucking go ahead and keep me posted, right? I'm gonna fucking go back to what's gonna make me money and minding my business and letting you guys I mean, basically, I'll just know how you guys are doing, right? All I got to do is open up Twitter, right? If I see a bunch of philosophizing, life is not all about money, you know, I already know what kind of day it was, all right? Unanimously, everybody got it. Philosophers everywhere, right? When the stone carries the, right? All that bullshit. And when people start lecturing like your fucking grandfather, you know, most people think that this is how you do it, but I'll tell you how, then you fucking win one trade, all of a sudden, dude's Mark Douglas on the fucking Twitter. I got it, right? I can keep track of US 30 traders. I understand you guys. Note speaker for, huh, dude. I check my calendar sometimes, man. That still shocks me. You guys heard of a little company called Coinbase? Little fucking pop-up shop just came up. Yeah. Josh says dead. Ah. Wait, how did you send the message at 10:30 a.m. and it's 10:29 a.m.? The fuck is happening, people? All right, I don't like that. We're ending the stream. All right. This is where I draw the line. Oh, Josh is time traveling. Oh, Josh is time traveling, still won't send a fucking signal. Right? But come on, bruh. That's just selfish. Everybody else saw that, right? Am I bugging or am I tripping? That was it says 10:30 a.m. and then right up top it said 10:29 and I don't know. It is what it is. This turmoil is making me money. The more the world burns, the better off I am, so let it burn. Camille, I'm gonna kick you off the stream if you ever do that again. But that whole like I hate humanity and I'm miserable shit is not cool, right? You're not a fucking a movie villain, right? You're like as long as the world burns and I make money, but you're not the Joker, all right? You live in the burbs. Buddy, wake up, all right? If you think that you can survive in a societal collapse, but let me tell you a thing or two. Very few people can. All right, I grew up in Lebanon. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want to see societal collapse. You don't want to see civil war. You don't want to see what that does to your country or to the people or what you gotta witness the darkest parts of humanity, all that bullshit. Don't ever talk about the world burning. We want this place to work. We want to make money so we can make it work better. I want to make money so I can help my family first, and then I can help society after. So I can help my community, so I can help, fix up the local church, fix up the local community center. That's how we make a difference, right? You know what you can't do when you're broke? Make a difference. It's not all about money. I'm going to go and volunteer. All right, listen to me. Listen to me. Everyone has a role, correct? But you guys are all here for a reason. Is because you're ambitious enough to understand that this is a money game that you can tap into and make a lot of money, way more than you can at a traditional job. So if you're going to do that, yeah, might as well have even more impact than you could ever have at a job. Am I right or wrong? So this really should be the goal, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a religious church, whether it's a community thing, an activism thing that you genuinely care about. Make a fucking first fix yourself. You can't fix yourself, you can't fix your family. Then fix your family because you can't get your house in check. You ain't fucking saving the world. All right. And then get your community in check because if your community sucks, then you ain't changing the world. And guess what? All these people that say that it's not all about money and you can make an impact without it, show me. Come fly over here and tell me that to my face. Oh, wait, you can't because a plane ticket costs money. You guys understand? Like, let's go buy, 200 different packed lunches and give them out in the city today. Anyone want to take a guess what 200 packed lunches costs? Right? That's why money is important. So everybody in your life that's telling you it's not all about money and money's not important, look at the quality of their life. Ask them, can you drive whatever you want, be wherever you want? Can you leave whenever you want? Can you quit your job whenever you want? Can you say whatever you want? Can you do anything? And if the answer is not unequivocally yes, then maybe that advice is not the advice to follow. Because maybe money is that important going into the future. And I'm not saying that money's going to solve your problems. People take this from me. I started making money trading. I thought money was going to solve all my problems. Money solves money problems. You can't pay your rent, it's going to solve that. Money does not solve all the other issues in your life. All right. You ain't struggling right now because you don't have money. You're struggling because you don't have the self-confidence, you don't have the daily habits, you don't have the diet, you don't have the sleep schedule, you don't have the things in place to get you to be successful. Money ain't gonna help you. You could hire a trainer, and if your ass not gonna show up, if your ass is gonna eat whatever the fuck you want after because you can afford it and do whatever, none of it matters. Money is not gonna solve your family problems, right? You ain't talked to your sibling or whoever it was in 5 years. You think getting some money is going to solve that issue? You're out of your fucking mind. Money's going to make it worse. You'll have people that you're beefing with in your family asking you for money now, right? So long story short, don't wait until you get the money to get your life in check, because here's the secret. You're not going to get the money until you get your life in check. All right. Hope this has been a valuable lesson for everybody. Am I going to be scalping into this existing sell trade? Are you out of your fucking mind? You want me to catch the falling knife as it's approaching a higher time frame support? Oh my. Elon Musk once said entrepreneurship is like eating glass and staring into the abyss, right? That's how I felt reading that comment. All right, whatever the fuck he said. Is that teaching financial literacy is what you're doing, is you're doing your part for society, 100%. Because I can give you all money today, and I promise you that education is what makes folks successful. When I was at Merrill Lynch, the generational wealth, I'm not going to say what kind of generational wealth it was. But generational wealth was not based on just giving the money to next gens. It was on passing on the knowledge and the habits, right? Because a lot of you guys know what you should be doing. Spend less than what you make. But if you don't have the right habits in place, it don't fucking matter. And that's why if you guys have kids and you have shitty habits, make sure you start them young. Make sure they have good habits from a young age, because it's a lot easier to grow up with good habits than to try and fix your shitty habits later on. And we all had to do it. I'm still going through it. Okay? So habits is how you make a shit ton of money, and passing on that information. That's real generational wealth. Bank of Canada cuts key rates by quarter percentage point. So 25 basis point rate cut for Canada. Let's go ahead and see the effects real quick before we hop off. The fuck is the CAD index? Is it CDY? Nope. Those are futures. All right, I'm just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna take a tour around the currencies. Damn. So I'm guessing the Canadian dollar is absolutely crashing. CAD JPY. Yep, makes a lot of sense. Canadian dollar is crashing, which makes sense. When you make we just talked about this earlier. If you want to dump the value of your currency, what did I say you could do? You can either print a shit ton of it, or you can lower your interest rate and make it more available. And now when it's easy to get Canadian dollars, it's not as scarce, and so the value is going to go down. So we're seeing a huge drop off in the Canadian dollar as a result of that quarter, or that 25 basis point rate cut, which basically is now leading the charge for the rate cutting cycle globally. So we'll do GBP CAD. Yep. So if you guys are kind of newer to currencies or currency correlations, if it has a CAD at the end of it, so you do X CAD, that's bullish. Okay, and if it has a Canadian at the front of it, like CAD JPY, I'm going to do XXX. Those are all going to go down. Very simple. And that's why, like, you know that the Canadian dollar is very aggressive because we just looked at USD CAD. And even though the dollar is going down right now, and the Canadian dollar is also going down, the question is which one's going down more aggressively? And because the Canadian dollar is way more aggressive at the moment, that's why that's leading the charge in UCAD, and you see a bullish move as opposed to like a bearish move that we're seeing on all the other dollar crosses. Am I the only one who does not get the notifications when you go live? Bro, I feel like they're trying to censor your boy. Okay, they're trying to censor your boy. But what I'll tell you guys is, and to be honest, I genuinely feel like YouTube is hiding the streams because I'll go to our own channel logged in on our account and still not be able to find certain videos. They'll still pop up like way, way lower and all this other stuff. So what I would recommend is show up in the mornings. It's usually 9:30 to 10 a.m. within that 30-minute window, and that's when I go live. All right. I'll do my best to post the scheduling, whatever the link is where it tells you, hey, tomorrow we're going live. If I do it soon enough, then I think everybody else gets notified. You guys all get notified. Another thing that we do is if you guys aren't already subscribed on our email list on the website, we send out an email every time that we go live. We have updates and alerts for everything that we do. So make sure to head over to the website, scroll to the bottom, sign up for the newsletter, and we're constantly giving away those updates. All right, y'all. I actually have a meeting to go. Wait, I can't say this on YouTube. Peace out, YouTube. If you guys want to get inside the community, go ahead and take the master class. If you pass it, you can get into the VIP chats. If you don't pass, sayonara. Right? No, you can try again until you pass, and you're gonna keep doing it until you get it right. We be on some woke shit, reason YouTube is hating, and I stopped monetizing. It's like, brother, I'm literally doing this for absolutely free, zero monetization on the channel. So they push it even less because if they can't run ads on your shit, they don't even want to push your video because that's how they're getting paid. It's from the advertisers paying people. And so as soon as I turn off the monetization, they started hiding my shit. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to be for the people, bro. Fuck YouTube. This is crazy. I thought y'all wanted people on the platform. They're like, no, 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 you don't get it. We want people on the platform so we can sell ads, dummy. That's what they have to tell. I said, we are the product. Shit, I thought the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube platform was the product. No, no, we are the product, right? They're selling our attention between all these, they're day trading our attention between all these different advertisement agencies. Not cool. All right. So make sure that y'all, come back and check daily for those, and check out that video with Swaggy C if you haven't already. We're gonna be chopping it up into some small bits, make it more bite-sized, manageable for you guys to check it out. But if you guys want real in-depth value on the Japanese yen situation, gold, the dollar, check out the recent podcast I did with Bob Elliott, where we break down in depth the Japanese yen situation. You'll have to kind of scroll through to find it, but trust me, if you're interested in fundamentals, that conversation with Bob Elliott is the single most insightful conversation I've ever had regarding economics. And that 2-hour conversation was worth more than my 4-year degree, guaranteed by far. Some of it might be high level, but I did my best to try and translate it to English for everyone watching. All right, y'all. Happy Inside Trading. Peace. Kel. And I know they can still hear me because I know there's a lag. So the